Good morning. It's another Wednesday. Happy chats. We're going live, and here we are live on Facebook. Yay, it's another Hump Day Happy Chat. Hello, everyone. Good morning. This is Valerie Shepard coming to you from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. It's a gorgeous day outside. I hope you're getting out and enjoying it. It's morning here. Many blessings to you wherever you are. And we're here to talk about another happy chat. So the Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery is all about helping you master you in your life so that you can exquisitely manage, and I love that word, exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way. It's a powerful concept. It's a powerful living of it, to know that at any given moment you can do that. You can do that. And so many blessings to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And today, I want to talk about homecoming. Yes, it is fall. And I was with some colleagues last night, and we were talking about his kids going to homecoming. And it just reminds me of, we have homecoming. Yay! I used to be a cheerleader, and I used to love homecoming. It was a really special thing. We used to have megaphones that were way bigger than this. And we would yell, "Go fight, win!" And I used to love it. And I had a big booming voice. So I was built for that. And so, but I wanted to talk to you about homecoming because it's kind of that time of year. The fall is homecoming time. And historically, I thought this was really cool. Do you know that homecoming as a thing that's done at schools dates back to over 100 years ago? Like at the beginning of the 19th century, when the University of Missouri at Columbia and their athletic director, Chester Brewer, urged alumni to come home for a football game against Kansas. He then did all things with a spirit rally, and he created a parade, and Trivial Pursuit and a couple of other games. I think Jeopardy even calls that the first homecoming. It's under dispute though, because the University of Illinois dates their homecoming festivities back to 1910, and Baylor dates its homecoming back to 1909. So it doesn't matter who gets honors of having the first homecoming. The bottom line is it's a concept that's out there that means come back to something that is true for you, that is real. And so I wanted to talk about homecoming because of this time of year, but in terms of a real powerful homecoming, and where is the real homecoming? And so as a teacher of this concept of self-mastery, to me, homecoming is all about coming home to you, coming home to the true you. And that's done by becoming more aware of self, becoming in a closer relationship with the self that you are being at any given time. And then beyond that, it's about honoring and serving yourself toward achieving your highest potential. It's about satisfying the yearning within to express that which is real and true for you, rather than becoming something you aren't, rather than becoming the not self in order to please others, or in order to do it right, or do what's expected, or do what social consciousness tells you is what you should do, the should do. So how do you become aware of this not self that you're being? Well, you start noticing anytime you're in thoughts of not enough. So I'm not good enough, smart enough, not pretty enough, not skinny enough, not wealthy enough, not feminine enough, not masculine enough, not loved enough, whatever the not state is, the lack and limitation self is not really you. Whenever you feel yourself morphing I have to be quiet because they won't receive me as loud. I have to be smaller because my big self intimidates other people. I have to be fearless because my fear makes me look weak. Any of those ideas, anytime you have to be something that doesn't feel completely like it's you. You know, when you put on a sweater that like it's wool and somehow it got into the wash and it shrunk 3 sizes and you hold it up and you're like, okay, this is now the sweater for a 10-year-old and that's not going to fit my body. But if you tried to put that sweater on, you would totally feel out of sorts, you know. You would wonder what's going on. I heard this morning, I was in a panel discussion this morning on peace, and one of the wise men in this panel, G.P. Walsh, who was just an exquisite sage with amazing energy and beautiful wisdom, said this, that when we are in the not self, looking for the self, it's like a whale being in a swimming pool. The whale's in the water, so it's like, well, this feels like home, but there's something about it that is totally uncomfortable, cramped, that the whale is not being able to fully express its true magnificence, that true magnificence that is inherent in it being the whale. And that's you. That's me. That's every one of us. We have a true magnificence that is wanting to burst forth. When we're thinking we have to fit someone else's idea of what's right for us, when we tell ourselves that our desires aren't important and what I'm here to do needs to be relegated to second or third or never place compared to these other things, we are actually feeding the not self. And the disturbance that we feel when we do that, like we know what we're doing at some subconscious, unconscious level. We know we're kind of outside of the true self. And that nudging, that doesn't feel so good. Wake up! Like that call is the call to come home to your true self. That's gonna happen and you will feel it. And when you wake up and go, wait a second, that's a stirring, that's a nudge, that's a call that I need to engage. I will serve myself by engaging that call. So if you're pursuing a road that feels like you're doing it for the money or the prestige or because other people think you should, it might be time for you to come up with different reasons for doing it or do something different. Do something that is really calling to you. So like I know in my life where those disconnects happen, where I was chasing a dream that was not really my dream. For many of us, it's even the idea of what happiness is and where it comes from. Accomplishments and credentials and stuff, our stuffology, and anchoring in those things can sometimes make us feel a little out of sorts, like, wait a second. And that's what happened in my life. I got to the place where I had all those things that people had told me, hi, thank you for joining. I had all these things that people told me would bring me true happiness. It's only I wasn't really happy with those things. And then it was about not losing those things and keeping those things. And so where your joy lies is in this connection to the true self. When you are willing to go there, be there, no matter what, honoring the true self, that joy happens. And I love the way this story, I heard this story about a disciple talking to the rabbi. And it went like this. The disciple asked the rabbi, Rabbi, what shall I do to be saved? To be saved. And the rabbi said, how should I know? Abraham practiced hospitality and he was saved. Elias loved to pray and he was saved. David ruled a kingdom and God was with him. Follow the deepest inclination of your heart and you too will be saved. And so that's the message Your true guidance is within you. It's not in all of the stuff that you hear and social consciousnesses, callings and directives and stirrings to do this or that because it's better for you. Sometimes it's not even what the parents told us that is really the salvation for the true self of you. You've got to become aware. You've got to master that voice from within that's calling to you. When you make that inner sanctuary your true guide, your heart, and you listen to its nudges and answer its callings and pay attention to what's bubbling up in here. What's calling to you? Where are you getting the rah, rah from inside? That cheerleader's voice saying, look here, go here, think of it this way. There's a spiritual teacher that I saw on a 2015 episode of Oprah's Super Soul Sunday. Her name is Joan Chittister. I think I'm pronouncing it right, Chittister. She says this: when we become what we know ourselves to be, we will come home to ourselves. And so that's the calling today in the Hump Day Happy Chat. Your true happiness resides within you. The sanctuary that your heart is for you is for you. It may not be for anyone else. And their stirrings, their callings, what's on their happiness map isn't necessarily going to make you happy. And so rather than chase all those things like I did and then end up at the place where it was like, well, that didn't work again and again and again, my true happiness wasn't there. To like learn at as early as you possibly can to turn within, to trust your heart, to be your form of whatever you need to be. That's self-mastery. That's self-awareness, self-acceptance, self-love. And that's where your joy is going to explode into your life from the inside out. Thank you for joining today's Hump Day Happy Chat. Many, many blessings. Go to a homecoming game and get your fun on and your shout on and woo! Like, let your joy erupt from inside you and make this day a beautiful, magical experience and expression of the true you. Many blessings. Thanks for joining us. See you next time on the Hump Day Happy Chat. Bye now.